And thank you guys for tuning in and joining us on the Zoom. It's being recorded. So if you have assistant coach come on later or you want to share some of this information with others, please do. We'll have the link out on the website in a few days. It won't be the weekend for sure, but it'll be midweek next week. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And I want to thank you guys for volunteering to coach, volunteering your time. And I'm going to jump right in. Ben Newby is in the room and Barbara Wilson is in the room. Ben will be answering questions. So will Barbara out of the chat. So if you guys have any, you can definitely unmute yourself and speak up and we can carry on a conversation we need to, or you can shoot it over to Ben. And if we feel like we need to get it in front of everybody, we might stop for a second and talk about it. Here we go. It's volunteers like you make a huge difference to our club. The more you put into it, the more the kids are going to get out of it. And we really appreciate it. If you guys need anything, let us know. We're trying to develop future players in the game of soccer and life. You know, that's the important thing. It's not wins and losses. It's developing good character and trying to be a good influence on these kids. So all coaches will be with us 7:45. I'll try to get through this quick. New coaches 7:50 to 8:45. And there's a little bit more in-depth question. Everybody's more than welcome to stay on, but we'll try to wrap it up and I'll try to stay on schedule. I've ran this over before, but I'll try to stay on topic and on schedule. Tonight's rosters are preliminary. They're not final. The registrar is moving kids around daily, trying to make things work and round out rosters and meet requests and you know, some people sign up late and that throws a wrench in his plans for sure. But anyway, they're preliminary. I know you guys can see your rosters. Don't even pay attention to them. They're not final. Do not contact them. So you can find information on your. Sorry about this. Let me clean something up here. You can find information on the meeting page on the Coach's Corner. Again, don't contact the players or parents until you get a note from the registrar asking you to contact your teams. It's a great time to email the registrar and get your team name changed. Please do it as fast as you can. Don't wait and meet with your team and vote on a team name. It very seldom works out. Just, you know, you and your kid come up with a name that you guys like and have fun with it inside your family. You guys are giving your time. It can be something that you and your kiddo can share that time together. We think the rosters will be ready by August 16th. Ben and his crew's been working hard on them. They put a big dent in them and he's getting close, but August 16th, we're hoping they'll be unfrozen. He'll tell you, he'll send out an email. The office will send out an email, contact your parents. They're waiting to hear from you. There's still players signing up. And if you have a player signed up late, he's probably not going to be on the same team. Play up forms were due at the time of registrations. Players without a form are placed in actual age group. So you might reach out to somebody. If you know you got a kid playing up, you might reach out to them, make sure they got that right.
Rick, coaches, make sure that you do not go into your account and hit the clone button. If you hit the clone button on your account, you're going to reset your rosters and create additional work. I've already seen several coaches press the button. It adds all the kids from a previous season or seasons ago, and you'll wonder why these players are on your roster. It's creating additional work that's taking hours to fix. Make sure you don't hit the clone button. That's my word of warning. The other thing, I've got about 70 kids left to get assigned to teams due to a variety of different reasons. You're going to look at your roster and say, I'm missing somebody. If you're on one of the teams that I haven't got to yet, that's probably why you're missing. By noon tomorrow, I'll have the remainder of the kids on teams and you'll be able to see your roster. So at noon tomorrow, you can log in to Got Sport. You can follow the instructions that you'll see later in the presentation. And whenever you do, you'll be able to see the kids that are on your roster. One word of warning, whenever you go to your rosters tab, it'll have a thing that says, Player pool. That is not your roster. If you look at player pool, you're looking at any players who have historically been on your roster. It includes players that are not signed up. You must follow the instructions or you'll see the wrong roster. For sure, you don't want to contact the players in your player pool because many of them have not signed up and are not participating this season. Make sure you go to the right roster. Rick, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, I'm unmuted. Just a second. Thanks for that information, Ben. Again, don't do it. Don't mess with your rosters. We've got guys that use this as a tool, and then we've got guys that get inside it and do things that they shouldn't do. If you want to be the registrar, we got an election coming up, and we'd love to have you be the registrar. But David Reddick had the same issue. Don't mess with the rosters. We used to be able to lock that down, and now we can't. All right, important dates. This you take a picture of this screen. August 14th, we're going to have some coach training. It's going to be out at Indian Springs. There's more information coming on it. You can get up on the website and look at it. I don't have any grassroots license courses scheduled. The last one I scheduled was before COVID. It had pretty low turnout, but we'll look at getting some of that back on. Man, please sign up for it. We'd love to have you guys out there. It's a great resource, a great way to learn some new terminology, learn some new drills. Again, final roster is the 16th. Blackout dates will be out after your rosters are released. You got 2 blackout dates for closed. If you want to do a weekend, you're going to have to do Saturday and Sunday. If you do Saturday, I can promise you'll have a game on Sunday. I promise you. We've tried it before in our family and it didn't work out for us. Open League is 4 blackout dates. There's no league games at Indian Springs for tournaments due to tournaments on October 21st through 24th and November 12th through the 14th. Open rec leagues, you're going to play away those weekends. So don't think, okay, I don't have to use October 21 and 23 24th as a blackout because we don't have any games. The away clubs, their scheduler is going to schedule our games at their clubs in the open league. If you don't know if you're open or closed, you're probably closed. Open just means we travel a little bit, and closed, all your games are at Indian Springs. Field days tomorrow. It's August 7th at 8 a.m. If you're an early riser, I talked to Kevin and he said he would be ready to receive guys ready to work, gals ready to work at 7, but it's officially kicking off at 8. So, but if you want to get out there early at 7, go out there and he'll put you to work. And he's got to move goals. He's got to tie some goals down, secure them. He asked that you guys, if you have them, bring side cutters and electric battery operated drills. He could use both those out there. So battery operated drills and side cutters. If you're an early riser, get there at 7 and leave at 9. If you can't spend the whole morning with us, just if you can give us 2 hours, man, that's huge. That's 2 hours that Kevin Lemaster doesn't have to walk around the soccer fields. That's huge. If 5 guys gave 2 hours, that's a day of work for Kevin. So please do that. We're volunteers. Kevin's a volunteer. This isn't Bally's. I'll date myself, man. This isn't Bally's Athletic Club. We are here to serve you as the board, but we need some help from you guys for sure. And plenty of you guys get out there and help us, man. We really, really appreciate it. Season schedule should be published by September 6th. And if you played soccer very long, not very often in the open league, do they meet the deadlines? Just bear with us. Don't call the office and burn their phone up. If you want to email the board or something, go to the web page and select somebody's name that you want to vent to. But we have no control over OSA and the other clubs. And the closed leagues will probably be close. The open leagues, we'll just take it when we get it. It's always that way. Season kicks off September 11th. The fall season closes November 21st, and it can run a little bit longer than that for rainouts, but we won't schedule games after the 21st. So that'd be the 22nd, right? So there you go. And everybody has to have a background check. You guys are reading the slide. I'm gonna kind of go through it. You got to have your background. You got to have your concussion. You got to have safe sport. We don't sign coaches. We can't sign coaches to teams that don't meet these 3 requirements. So if you haven't got yours done, please get it done. Very important to protect our youth. It's very, very important we protect our youth. Remember the witness rule for practicing games. Don't be alone with your players. At our field, at our first team meeting, they know if you got to go somewhere tonight after practice, leave right when practice is over. When we get down to 2 players, the last parent there is staying until the other parents get there. I'm not going to hang out with 4 players. I'm not going to hang out with players at all without parents being around. You know, I run practices. Sometimes my girls are getting older, but we don't hang out after practice. It's just somewhere that you don't need to be. So just remember, you're always going to have 1 parent. Make sure you bring it up in your parent meeting. I keep wanting to say your tailgate conference, but we're not talking about safety here, right? Every goal must be staked. If you see a goal that's not staked at your practice field, let us know. Matt's been around and he's staked goals and he's restaked goals. People are moving them to play their summer soccer games. Don't move our goals. They're where they're supposed to be. They're where Matt wants them. If you want to move goals, what is Matt? Second VP? Second VP is what the job you need to volunteer for at Broken Arrow Soccer Club.
Third.
I thought Kevin was third. Kevin's second. Thank you, Kevin, for being second. He beat you again, Matt. Signed medical releases. You print them off now, so that's kind of nice, and you keep them with you at all times. I've had kids break their arm at practice, but luckily their parents were there. I'd never have to worry about it. You know, I've called the ambulance before when people are hurt at our practice. Sounds like we run it rough, but we don't. It was a lot of young kids, you know, just doing what young kids do. Have your inclement weather policy. At Indian Springs, you know, we'll blast the horns and you go to your car, and there's going to be a slide on that here in a little bit. No alcohol or tobacco policy. We don't do alcohol or tobacco at our practice field. You know, just you can decide for yourself if it's right or wrong, but you know, we're working with a lot of families and a lot of kids, so just don't do it, and we won't have to worry about getting complaints at the office. That's soccer's not a no contact sport. The rules are on Coach's Corner. Know them, link it to your parents, get the rules linked to your parents so they can read them. You know, U9 or U8 to U9 is always a good one. You know, parents start coming out of their chairs because their kids are getting knocked around. U10 to U11, U12 to U13 is probably the funnest one. U16, then you jump up to U19. That's a good one. You know, it gets rough, man. It's a rough game. It depends on your game, your style of play, your style of coaching. Remember, there's no toe cleat on a soccer shoe, no earrings. They don't want rubber studs in, you know, to keep the holes open. No nose rings. There's no earrings. If it ends in a rings, man, you can't have it. So make sure your kids know that. My girls got their ears pierced the last day of the fall season, and they hated me for it and still make fun of me about it, but we just didn't do it because I knew they would have to take them out. No Band-Aids over them. So anyway, you guys got it. I'm beating the horse here. Referee abuse, man, we're still working on that. We've got a new referee assigner. Area referee, I'm sorry. Mike, if you're listening, don't be nervous. You're still here. I apologize for the slip, but we got a new area referee. Nate is going to do a great job for us, but I can promise you the guy's serious, and he's going to take care of his referees as he should. These are kids, man, and just like your team is your kids, his referees are his kids, and he takes it personal when we beat up on them, man, just like a good dad would, man. Coaches are responsible for their team's sideline and behavior. If I act like a jerk, my parents are going to act like a jerk. The parent misconduct can result in the coach getting ejected from the game, and it's removed. If Nate Hopkins is on here, it's a coach gets removed from a game, a player gets ejected. Parents are going to follow your lead. And that's the truth, man. It's the truth. And us acting like fools doesn't make our kids play better soccer. I promise you. Good, well-run training sessions make our kids play better. Most referees, U12 and below, are kids that are still learning the game. Have patience with them. They're going to make mistakes. I talked to them in the ref shack. I try to pour into them, let them know it's okay. Tell me, if a coach is getting out of line, and we'll talk to you guys. Be nice to these kids. Don't touch them. I don't know how many dads I've seen touch these kids. And I'm like, dude, if that was my daughter, I would not be very happy for you putting your arm around them. We don't know these kids. We don't have relationships with them. You don't need to talk to them. You don't need to hold their shoulders. I don't know what we're thinking when we touch other people's kids. It's, there's ways we should conduct ourselves, be professional, and hopefully, they'll grow in the sport and make a great referee. Everyone has a camera. There's websites dedicated to coaches crossing the line. We don't want to be on there. We don't want you guys on those websites. Just try to keep cool. Contact the area referee. You can contact me. There's a lot of times we're out there. Ryan's out there. He's our games commissioner. He was out there a lot last season. I was out there a lot last season. There's a lot of people out there that you guys can get a hold of through the ref shack. They know when we're there. They know who's there, and they'll get a hold of us by our cell phone. A lot of you guys have my cell phone number. Call me. If I'm out there, I'm going to come by your game. If I'm not, I won't. But, maybe I can get somebody over there to see what's going on. You can always send somebody to the ref shack. You knock on the door, you don't enter it. And please do not go over there and start complaining to them. Calm down after your game. Don't escalate things. We can only handle so much over there. But we do want to know about it. And we do want you guys to come to the ref shack if you think you need somebody, and we'll get somebody over there. Calls aren't going to be changed. Outcomes will remain the same. If we're made aware of it, we'll try to address it, and we do address it. I've heard comments, you guys don't do anything. We do, man. We've had guys sit several games. We've had guys not coach anymore. We do stuff. You guys just don't hear about it. Use the online referee evaluation form. It's under referees on vasoccer.club. Give positive feedback as well. Board members are often at the complex, so make them aware of the issue. I was reading the other day, the IFAB, International Football Association Board. Football laws are relatively simple compared to the other team sports, but as situations are subjective and referees are human and thus make mistakes, some decisions will inevitably cause debate and discussion. For some people, discussion is part of the game, the enjoyment and the attraction. But whether decisions are right or wrong, the spirit of the game requires that the referee's decisions are always respected. And that hit me. If I was reading the Bible, man, I think it'd be in red, but this isn't the Bible. I think if you guys look at that and, live it, it's the truth. The referee's decision is final. A handball is what they say handling is. Offsides is what they say offsides it is. You 10 yards off the line and 15 yards up the field from the call of the play, you're probably not going to get the right angle, but we can call it better from the sidelines for sure. But the laws cannot deal with every possible situation. So where there is no direct provision in the law, the IFAB expects the referees to make a decision with the spirit of the game. This is often involves asking the question, what would football want or expect? So just kind of take that in and realize that you're also dealing with kids. And then you got perspective. There's just a lot going on. It's insane that Nate needs referees, and we got probably 15 on every game sitting in a chair or standing on the sidelines, but we don't have anybody volunteering to referee. It's crazy. It makes me scratch my head. Referee information. Due to the shortage, we might not have a referee on a U6, U7, U8. Don't sweat it, man. Have fun with the kids. Have fun with both teams. We're not building, world-class soccer players down there. We're getting them to love the game. That's your build, is getting these kids to love the game. That's you're commissioned with. If your referee doesn't show up, Ryan was real good to notify those guys last year when they weren't going to have a ref or last season. Just split the halves. One team keep time, the other team keep or do the referee. Ask your parents to be quiet. I reffed a game one time with the Hunters team, and I had a grandpa that, hey, that wasn't the right call. You know, that was off your team, not ours. That should be our throw in. I'm like, dude, I call it like I see it, man. So I went by again, and, you know, of course, dumbest guy on the field has a whistle, and he said it again. So I told him, I said, here you go, man. I wiped my spit off the whistle, and, you know, 4v4 game is actually 3v3 back then. It was probably the most important thing of that guy's life on that week, but it sure wasn't mine. And he just kept on. So I handed him the whistle, and he was quiet. He didn't say another word to me, but I sure didn't want to act like that. But so coaches, keep your parents quiet. Don't try to keep the opposite teams quiet. Keep yours quiet and let the other coach keep his quiet. Because when you yell off the field, yell across the field, you're actually escalating it. So keep your coaches or keep your parents quiet, especially when you don't have a ref. I mean, I know I shouldn't use the word especially. Keep your parents quiet anyway. They don't need to tell the referee anything. Don't need to tell the players to throw the ball in faster, and let them learn to think. U9 and U10, you might just have a center. You're going to have a referee. Don't start your game without one. You're going to have one, but you know, hard to call offsides with one ref. We had a summer league this summer, and a couple coaches were like, "Hey, you know, that's offsides." And I'm like, "Come on, dude. It's not what summer soccer is about. Not the time to improve your offsides trap for sure. Tell your defenders play the whistle. Don't tell them forget the offsides. You know, if it's called, it's called. Like I said on the slide, skip the offsides trap for the game. Don't sit there and rely on it. I never did rely on a referee to make a good call on offsides. I've never been good about the offsides trap, so they don't affect my game, and they don't anyway. When you look down to the end of it, it's how did we train? How do we prepare? Some coaches talk bad about the coaches and their team can't run for a game. And I'm feeling it tonight. All right. Me and Ben Reddick, I'm going to keep mentioning Reddick because he was the last one in the hole on the registration side. Over here on the fulfilled, if your show's fulfilled, mine show's fulfilled. If your show's incomplete, mine show's incomplete. It's a database. Whatever you see, I see. So if you need help, definitely reach out to us and let's get you some help. But if it's not approved or complete on your side, it's not going to be on mine. So, you know, formulate a question so I can help you. Don't ask me what I see, because I'm going to see the same thing you see, and then I'm going to try to figure out what your question is. Make sure your assistant coaches show completed before you ask me to add them. Do ask me for help. I'm here to help you guys, and I'm here to help you guys get registered, but I can't add until everything's complete. The only two people that can change a team name is the registrar and the head coach. That's who's changing it now. It's not Barbara. It's not Jessica. It's not, Joey Hinkle. It's send us the email and we'll get it changed as fast as we can. And we'd like to do it tomorrow. We'd love to do it tomorrow, but send your email, copy the office if you want, copy info@basoccer.club if you want, but send it to the right people and we'll get it taken care of fast. I ran across this app this summer. It's a really good app. You can pay for it or you can get it free. I didn't enter a credit card or debit card. I really think you guys need to look at this. It's kind of put out by US Soccer. Stay topical when you go through it, because it will let you do whatever you want. 1v1 defending, playing wide. It won't stay topical for you in your choices. You got to do that. I can't explain to you if you have trouble running a session that's fun, or you're not sure what you're trying to, how to get the points across. They have videos and it's all right there on your phone or on your laptop, computer, whatever. I use the free version, and I think it's going to really help you guys. It's giving me ideas, and I change it to match my team and the age of my team, but it's Mojo Youth Sports, and you select the soccer app. At first practice, have the medical releases signed, print them from Got Sport. Tell your parents, print this screen off if you have to, this slide off, and tell them to practice, at practice right speed in and out, locations that have goals that back up to entries and driveways. And you guys can read this. Man, it's super, super important that we don't get somebody hurt. And we also don't want to, aggravate our landowners. Be careful with the parking areas. Heck, we're all, most of us are parents, so we get the parking areas. Just make sure you stress it to your kids and their parents. No parking within 15 feet of the sideline of practice field. Don't drive across the field. It's not a shortcut. It's I don't know how many times I was out there at Core Church, you could tell people drove across the field, and maybe it wasn't a soccer parent, maybe it was somebody else, but it's aggravating. I had a kid a few years ago twist their ankle in a motorcycle rut, so you can imagine what happened to the next kid that rode his motorcycle next to my field. It was an interesting conversation. Oh man, not confirmed or do not have a practice field. Request one as soon as possible. There's the path to get to it. It's up on the website, and the website's changed a little bit. So make sure you're taking a picture of that. Private practice field release is on the website under Coach's Corner, and print it off and just kind of fill it out and get it to me or the office at info@basoccer.club, and we'll get it filed away. Don't penalize players for being late. Multiple kids, work late, traffic. You'll know who's going to be late. I do ask my parents to text me so I know if they're coming or not. If they're not coming, we have an app, and then mark they're going to be absent. No practicing at church fields on Sundays or Wednesdays. No practice on Sundays, Wednesdays. So if you don't think that applies to you, you're the one I'm talking to now. The churches call us, man. Hey, they're out here on Wednesday. We had church, and so we'll call the coach, and that coach will say, "Well, I go to church there, and they said it's all right." It's not all right, or we wouldn't get those phone calls. Don't practice at the churches on Sunday or Wednesday. We don't have any practice fields, on the Saturday churches, and I'm showing my intelligence right now. But please honor that so we don't lose these fields. Remember the witness rule, 6, you're 1 day a week for 1 hour, limit 2 activities per week. So in the beginning, when you don't have a game, you could go 2 times a week, but you're only going to have a field for 1 day. So don't think you can go out to your field on that second day that you want to practice. The health department on a Saturday is usually a pretty good place, but if you have a spot you can go work on that's safe for an hour, you can do that for sure, but you're only going to have a practice field for 1 day per week. And that's what we'd like for you to stick to. U7, you're going to go to 2 days, and it's an hour and a half practices, limits activities 3 per week. So
hey, Rick, can I take a second real quick?
Somebody say something.
Yeah, it's Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, just a quick second for everybody. Everybody who has, as of this evening at about 6 o'clock, has either been assigned a field if they've requested one, or they need to check their email because there may be an issue that I'm trying to work through with the field that you've requested. So if you've not gotten a confirmation from me saying that you've received your field, please get with me or check your email to make sure that you respond to whatever question I'm asking. Let's see, the other thing that I was going to tell you guys on the parking, the new location, Aspen Creek, you have to park in the elementary parking lot. You cannot park on the grass. Any team that has a player or a parent that's parking on the grass is going to be asked to leave that property and not come back. So make sure you keep your parents, let them know if they have a problem with it. Please contact me and let me know. The city was very adamant that we can't park on the grass and we can't drive out to those fields. The fields are a little bit of a hike, but I mean, they're larger fields. I think they're well worth it. And the last thing I have about the Aspen Creek fields, I'm going to pre-warn you, they are new. I haven't had a chance to fill the holes yet. There are some holes out there. It was just a plain field, so they're not quite up to practice yet. So you might need, if you're assigned an Aspen Creek field, you might need like a team field day just to come out and make sure everything looks good and that kind of stuff. It's been a lot of work out there. I want to say thank you to Kevin Lemaster, because without him, and I tell you what, it would have been a whole lot more work for me, because he took care of a lot of that stuff. I think that's all I had. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you chiming in. If you want to grab 3 or 4 bags of potting soil and throw in the back of your car and fill those holes as you see them, that's what we do at our practice field. It doesn't cost much, and it just takes a second. Heck, have a dad do it for you or mom, whatever, while you're practicing. Have them fill holes, where you're seeing them. Throw a cone down and say, let's help me fill these holes. People will help if you ask. That's what I was told anyway. People will help if you ask. All right. So please abide by that. If you're a coach out there, get a wagon, lose your man card, get a wagon, and carry that stuff out in the wagon. I say that because newbie's got a wagon. I always put my stuff in it. Man. Required for all coaches, every soccer function. You got to have your coach's pass. Have it. I have one on my team lanyard and one in my pocket. I printed off 2. Referees have the discretion, if you don't have that, to send you off. And I don't want to put my well-being in their hands. And they're doing their job, so I don't have a leg to stand on. All head and assistant coaches must have access to a virtual printed coach ID. Coaches can access their IDs through the team account to print or view virtually. Hey, print them off at home. It's not a big deal. Once you do it, there's help on there's help on Got Sport. There's help on the coach's corner. Print them off at home, laminate them. Laminate your coach's card, laminate your player cards. You see that one of David, it's a correct picture. Man, that's ugly. The one where he's coaching there, that's not right, man. You got to have the one like David is there on the correct picture. There's David eating a turkey leg right there. It kind of gets into Oktoberfest. That's his Oktoberfest look right there. All right, player passes, U11 through U19. You must have them. You got to have them on you. I don't rely on a network connection. I have mine printed, cut, and laminated. You don't laminate the sheet of them. Print them, cut them, laminate them. Mine's on a 100-pound zip tie, so it can't break. I run it through. I got to cut it to take them apart. Individually laminated. Says use a snap ring. I don't trust myself with a snap ring, so I just do not want to lose a player card, because they will not play, or you'll forfeit if they do play. And so it'll be your choice. All coaches must have access again right there to your coach's ID through the team account. Printer, view it virtually. It's up to you. Hey, the office is going to print them if you request. There's going to be a mailer out here in a couple weeks. We used to print them, and we'd come in here and they'd be stacked up. We're like, is she going to come get them? They're like, I don't know. Is she going to come get them? I don't know. They don't know. So they wasted a ton of our resources, a ton of your resources. It's your club too, right? So they're wasting our resources by trying to do us a service that wasn't being used. So I think once you start printing them off, you realize how easy it is.
Yes.
All right, so Barbara's noticed an error on the slide. It's U9. It's U9 through U19, because in the U9 division, we had some teams cheating. Like every weekend, they would add kids to the roster. Maybe 3 guys are gone, so they brought 3 good kids from another team over to play. It's U9, and we'll get that corrected. Apologize for that. So it's U9 and above to U19 need a player pass. Laminate them, have them put together. The only thing wrong on the slide is U9. When you get that request, if you need us to print them, we will. Man, we're here to serve you guys for sure, right? And But don't ask for them like some guys still did last season and not come get them. Heck, at least come get them and don't use them. At least do that for us. Don't waste our resources. Don't waste your resources. We do a lot around here to try to keep that $95 registration fee, $95. I can see Marshall shaking his head. Not really, just virtually. All right, games. We're all trying to win games, and it's 50% required playing time. Don't cheat on that rule. I've got an app. It's called Sub Time. If I have a parent that even questions me, I can print that game out and show them exactly to the second how long their kid played. I can show them how many goals they scored. I can show them all kinds of stuff with a free app called Sub Time, and it takes all the guess out of it. Play them 50% of the time. Don't try to win games. We're rec soccer. We need to play by the rec rules. Don't warm up the penalty box, $75. If you see somebody warming up the goal box or playing in the nets or the goal, please ask them stop. And, don't escalate it beyond, hey, remember, you can't be on the goals. So the Broken Arrow Soccer Club opens and closes the restroom. We turn on and off the lights for all games and scrimmages at the complex. If you have a special training session, you don't have to come up here and get a key to the bathroom or the lights anymore. That's been like that for a while. Plan for games during fall break. We're going to have games. We signed up for soccer. You got two for closed league, 4 for open on your blackout dates. If you don't know about that, go up to Coach's Corner and there's a tutorial on blackout dates. The plan to have games on both Saturday and Sunday of each week. We don't know that that's how it's going to be, but when we lose our complexes for tournaments and stuff, we got to get our games in. So kind of plan on that. Both coaches bring a game card. If I bring a game card and you don't, and my card doesn't show half your players, that half that it doesn't show is not going to get to play. They can't check them in. So bring your game card. Try to get it printed off, a couple days before, and make sure you get it in your notebook and be ready. Both coaches, this is a new rule. It's a couple years old. A lot of referees still might give both to the winning coach, but just say, hey, we're both supposed to get one, and the other coach will just say, yeah, the rules have changed. He gets one, I get one. Home coach is responsible for flags. The Shed's 142. My phone number is 918-695-9812. That's insane, right? A lot of people can remember that phone number, but they can't remember the Shed code for some reason, newbie. It's 142. And I feel bad when you guys text me and I don't see my text, and I know your game started. I feel bad, but the Shed code is 142. So in my phone, I have Shed code as the contact and 142 as the number. So I never forget it, but put them up. It's, we used to say, put them up if your last game of the day. Well, not very many people, understand when the last game of the day is. So just put them up. If the team's not there, put them up. We all go around at the end of the day picking up flags, and we got a guy that we pay to do it, but it's we don't need to waste our resources, and we need to keep that account as low as we can keep it. And it's not going to stay low if he has to drive around for an hour picking up flags every Saturday and Sunday. Winning teams submit your GOT sport within 24 hours of the start time of your game. The losing coach can do it after 24 hours. You don't let it even get close to 48 hours. Get the score. If you're the losing coach, get it put in there. Some guys like to play games and not enter scores, and then lo and behold, it's the end of the season, and they're probably in the league championship caliber team, maybe trying to hide what they're doing, and they think it's up to the office to get the scores submitted, and we can't submit the scores. OSA has to. So it's really important that we get the game completed, get the scores entered, have it right. If you don't have it right, email us. We'll help you get it straightened out. But let's, they shortened it up, and we have no say in that. That's a GOT sport button that they selected. we can do nothing about that. You know, we used to have a little bit longer time, but I just do mine right after the game. Yeah. Don't wait. How to submit it's detailed on the game card. You know, for you new coaches, there's a lot of stuff you're going to learn, but there's a curve, but nothing's hard. Just keep plugging away. If you need help, let us know. Keep the game cards until the 31st for the fall, the December 31st for the fall, June 30th for the spring rescheduling. And I'm running behind here. Rescheduling, the policy hasn't changed. You need to reschedule 8 days out. So if I play Ben Newby, you know, in 16 days, we better be looking at our reschedule, at least get it turned in and get it taken off the books. You know, maybe you don't have your date picked that you're going to reschedule to, but get that game off the schedule so they don't assign a referee to it, and you know, put aside a field for it. 8 days is a long time. We're just going to have to be a little bit better at the scheduling our time. We're going to have to be a little bit more forceful with our parents. You know, let us know you know, I got 5 kids in the band on a Saturday. You know, I can play without 1 or 2, but you cut 5 off my team. Now it's, you know, it's hard to play. So 8 days out. So if you're outside the reschedule policy, you're going to pay. There's your fees. So if Stillwell calls you on Friday night, say we're not going to be there tomorrow, tell him he's forfeiting if he's not there, because you're not going to pay the $155 fee if you're U17 or U19. And you might want to let them know when you get your schedule. You might want to send them this reschedule policy so they know ahead of time, because the smaller clubs tend to call you last second, and it's because their clubs run different. We're having a hard enough time keeping referees. We don't want to not pay them and not give them a game. New coaches training August 14th, 8:30 to 11:30. I cut it a little bit short for some reason. Cost is free. It's worth probably about $100, I'm thinking. The locations, fields 10 and 12, we'll meet out there on 10. There's information up on the website about it. Love to have you guys out there. If you're not a new coach, come out and share your stories. Mine, it's a good time to try to educate these coaches on what they're going to be looking at. The grassroots license courses replace the E&F for the guys that's been around for a while. It's 2 hours of classroom and 2 hours on the field. It's really good. I would do the 4v4 online at your convenience, and then do the 7v7 or 9v9 in person. I love me some Quick Trip tea. Sorry about that. 7v7. We don't have any set up. You can get on the Learning Center and select Oklahoma and see where they're at. We'll try to get that out to you guys in email, because we know you guys read them. For sure, you know, get out and get some training. Get out and get some training. There's some of the Broken Arrow Sheffield guys, they're training right now. Send me an email if you'd like to get with some of those guys, and I'll get you connected. Only new U6 players get shirts. We'll be passing them out at the after the coaches training. We'll be passing those shirts out, so be looking for that, and you've already got some information on it. U6 returning will use the same shirt, so please help us keep our costs down. You know, figure out who's returning and who's not. If you don't know, we'll try to figure something out, but we really don't want to pass out any more shirts than we have to. Order uniforms fast. You know, be ready now. Don't wait to meet your team and ask them what color they want to be. This is a disaster. I've done it before. It was a great team building experience. My daughter didn't get the color she wanted, so I still hear about that too. Sorry, Peyton. If you want to order from the Tiger Den, you need to know the following. You want to jump on here? I'm going to turn it over to Barbara for just a second. I'm sure everybody will.
Hey, everybody. So if you do want to order from the Tiger Den, there are some changes this season that you probably need to know. They are only doing uniform fittings one day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That day is Saturday, August 21st. It's the only day. I would just, if this isn't going to work with your schedule, you might choose another uniform option, like maybe Soccer USA or something like that. They're being really strict for whatever reason this season. I just wanted to call that out, to your attention so that, that everyone knows they're not giving refunds. They need to have all sizes and numbers given at the time of orders, and they all must be prepaid. So they're getting pretty strict, and I just wanted you guys to know that. Soccer USA, Ali, he's been around forever, and he also has he told me, today to try to have everyone place their team orders by August 21st. So you can go in there, place your order. They already have some things, I think, in stock, but they have everything. Tiger Den is more geared towards football and cheerleading. You can place orders there for soccer, obviously, but Soccer USA has everything. Anyway, that's just, I wanted you guys to know about the differences with Tiger Den and to, maybe check out Soccer USA if that one deadline doesn't work for your schedule.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna leave my speaker off so I don't have to turn it back off. So Soccer USA, Tiger Den, I've got a thing working with Ollie, and we don't have club uniforms, so I don't need all those emails. But I did get something working with Ollie. We have an orange uniform that's pretty sharp. It's Jamba and a white shirt. We went with one pair of socks to keep the cost down, but you could add a pair. But he has we call it a coach's convenience kit. It's not a club uniform. We're not saying we're going to club uniforms, but I've worked it out with him where the coach gets the uniform for free, and it's not paid by the membership dues. It's if you got 15 kids on your team, he's going to divide your uniform by 14, and we're going to get your uniform paid for. And if you're coach that's interested in that, let me know, and we'll get it done. It's I think it's nice. It's a sports fabric. It's nice, but Tiger Den's next door. Get there on that date. Let us know how you're treated. A couple of coaches let me know how they were treated last season. Just let us know how you're treated, and we want people providing us good service. And if you're interested in that uniform I'm talking about, I could shoot you a picture of it. Like I said, I think it's good. So get your orders in. And I apologize for going over the goalkeeper training's we're staying with Adam Kinnis, does a great job for our kids. He starts off with A and goes to Z. If your keeper's going this week and then missing 3 weeks, and they're not going to get as much out of it. He's going to start off at 0 and he's going to go to 100. I don't know that everybody understands that. It's for U9 to U12, U13 to U19. Peyton says she's going to use them this next season for her keepers. He does a great job. He keeps it fun. It's light. He's got the right attitude for our kids. And so anyway, it'll kick off August 24th. Scrimmages and special training sessions available to all Broken Arrow Soccer Club teams. Uniform licensed referee must officiate the scrimmage. Teams are responsible for referee fees paid at the field. So have cash, and we pay them well. Man, I pay those guys well. They usually come out there for one game. Special training sessions. You can have a training session. If you're 7v7 coach getting ready to go to build out lines, maybe you want to get that out there. You need to do it quick though, because you got to give them 8 days notice if you want to use a field. It's the same deal. So if you think you might want to have a training session, get it on the books now. And if it rains or you decide not to use it, let the club know, and that you'll get your money back. But you do have to pay for it in advance. We're not in the business of tracking people down to get money. You guys can see the notes where you go to get it. It has changed, so take a picture of that screen if you want, and this will be up on the website shortly. You guys see the 8-day notice there. Sunday Fun Day. Hey, come out, man. Some of you guys come out every time. Some of you guys never come out. write these 2 dates down. So September 19th is going to be, everyone. And I say that, what does everyone mean? It means everyone. So the referees are going to be there. If you have a manager, if you have a assistant coach, whatever, have them come out and kick the ball around. It's a good time. It's a good time. We laugh, there's a couple guys. So Matt Hahn, he's pretty serious about it. And there's a few others that go pretty hard for about 10 minutes. And then, they come back to earth because everybody's getting a little bit older. Gravity has its way of slowing us down. So does age. October 3rd, though, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to have girls coaches versus boys coaches. I'll be the contact for the girls coach. So email me if you want to be in that game. And then Kevin Lemaster be the contact for the boys coach. And you'll see some emails on that. Kevin Lemaster, his email address is complexmanager@basoccer.club. Mine is coach@basoccer.club. And this might be a little bit more spirited in mind. We would like to have your teams out. We're going to try to do some special stuff that day with the concession stand, but we got to get stuff cleared by him. It's his business. He's contracted, but I think he'll be there. But again, I'm going to tell you on October 3rd, it's going to kick off about 6:30. We'll get there about 6 and divide the teams up on the 19th. And then on the 3rd, we'll kind of know where we're at. It's a good time, man. It's a good time, and you're going to experience what your kids experience, and maybe that's why they're not running to every ball, because they get tired too. It's definitely grounded me. So big deal here, man. The soccer friendlies is 3 games. It's September 4th. You're barely going to have your schedules. You're getting them or your rosters, I'm sorry, on August 16th. So you're just going to start training. Your deadline's August 21st. Sign them up. It's friendlies. I don't know, the younger guys might not understand this concept. There's no trophy ceremony. There's no first, second, third. And, there's at least 40 guys listening right now. Well, why would you do it? You do it to see where your team's at, what you need to focus on. Where do you need to start with these guys, and it gives them something to train for too. Maybe they train a little bit harder when you get them, knowing that they're fixing to play a game. It's one day, so we're not taking up all 3 days. It's the right atmosphere to grow your team. It's a good time to meet your parents. You're going to stay out there for the day. Hopefully, bring a tent, bring some food, use the concession stand. He's got great food up there. Plan on entering. It's cheap. I don't think you can do 3 scrimmages for the price of the entry. So look at that. You got 3 games. More information on the website. The Broken Arrow Soccer Club Fall Classics, November 12th through the 14th. Man, I can't explain to you how often in the boardroom we talk, how can we make our tournaments? How can we make them bigger? And we get that we don't want to play the same people all the time, but if we could get every team in our tournaments, we would get more visitors in our tournaments, because our tournaments would be deeper. We'd have gold, silver, and bronze brackets for sure. So now we're going to get the smaller towns and we're going to get the bigger towns, because they want to come and have good competition. You might not be the best team in the state. You might be the 50th team in the state, but if you're playing 46, 47, 48, together, it's pretty neat. So look at that, try to get it in your schedule, introduce it to the team at the team meeting, make it an event, tell them you want to enter it, tell them to get it on the schedule. It's a great time. We'd really like to have every team. Tournaments are a fundraiser for our club. They help us keep our cost at $95. It goes back into the recreational program. I've flipped over the Kickstart program. Great program. I'm gonna let you guys read it. Kickstart 2-year-old program, Kickstart 3-year-old program, Kickstart 4-year-old program. Coach Steve at basoccer.club. Coach Guerin at basoccer.club. These guys do a great job. I used to think, man, what would you do? I went out and watched Steve work with that 2-year-old program, and it was hilarious. They're learning all kinds of stuff, a lot of motor skills, a lot of, parents involved. So they're learning, how to interact with other kids. It's one-on-one with the parents. So there's good quality, daddy, daughter, daddy, son, whatever, mom, daughter, it's a good time. It's a great environment. Please, if you know anybody in this age group, talk it up. It's a great program. And it's a great way to get outside and get some exercise. Schedules are now in the facility tabs. Kind of take a picture of this. We moved some stuff around. Jessica's worked hard on cleaning up our website. It's going to be good, but we got some changes that we're going to have to get used to. It's live field updates on the homepage at basoccer.club. I get text alerts to my phone. You can call me and I'm going to tell you that we'll know after 4 o'clock, just like the website says. Kevin Lemaster, he likes me a lot. I think he's got a man crush on me, but I don't tell very many people that. And I'm not going to call him and say, hey, Kevin, are we going to have the complex tonight? I mean, he's got his thing, man. He's got his thing. So just know at 4 o'clock it comes out. It's on the homepage. You'll know when everybody else knows. He's got a committee that makes the decision, and he doesn't make the decision. If you want to be on that committee, let us know. And there's opportunities there. We also have openings on a games and disciplinary committee that Ryan Egan's looking for members of. This is a great deal right here, man. This is, Joey Hinkle, president, David Reddick, first vice president. He's responsible for the tournaments. If you want to know anything about tournaments, or if you'd like to help out, at a tournament, get with David. He'd love to have your help. Kevin's the second vice president. He's kind of over the sports complex out there in Indian Springs. Matt's practice fields, Ben Newby's registrar. Games commissioner's Ryan Egan. You'll see Ryan out there, and he's got rocking a really nice beard right now. Rick Heineman loves to hear himself talk. Nate, mine is a new area referee, replaced Bill Harn, who man is still a soft spot in the heart. It's still fresh on our wound. Man, I miss him. Always will. Marshall Carrillo is our treasurer. He does a great job keeping us straight and making sure we understand the impact of every dollar we spend. Haley Wheeler, secretary, does a great job. She's also in our social media. Barbara Wilson's general manager, keeps us ship going in the right direction, makes sure we're all doing our job, and really helps us out getting our stuff done. Jessica is the tournament coordinator, and she said she's only on this slide once, but I think it's just because we took her off of it. She does so much more, than tournament coordinator. She helped me with the slides. Adam Kennis, goalkeeper trainer. You guys can see the rest. Jason Dobbins is working as our game scheduler. He's got some neat stuff going there. Then you see the program directors for Kids Start. Oh man, there's 3 parts of soccer: physical, technical, and tactical. Michael Encian, I have to look at that every time I say it. That's such a hard name for me to say. Doing a great job up there at FC Tulsa. Came out to the club a couple seasons ago with his players and had a great time. The coach does not make a great player. The player makes a great player. And I don't say it with near the accent that Ollie does, but don't do it justice. But Ollie will tell you that you can think you're the greatest coach ever, but players make players, or we'd have more than one Neymar. Let us know if you need help. Remember, Coach's Corner is a great resource. You guys have a great season. And I apologize you had to sit through this thing. It kind of got long on me. We got a couple of $10 gift cards for you guys to Los Cabos. We're watching the chat box, and let's see, what would be a good question? When can you contact your players? The first one with the right answer on that, when can you contact your players, is going to get a $10 gift card. Ben's watching it. He's the judge here. Sheree Harvey got herself some Mexican food. Good job, Sheree. She's been around the club for a while, man. She grew up on Keith Ash, and man, what a great asset to our club.
Hey, you know what? I got an even better one because I think you ought to give it to two people. So she said August 16th, which is the day we said we have it for sure finalized.
Yeah.
But I had one person direct message me, and it came in shortly after hers. It said, after the roster is finalized.
I
So
like
if I get them finalized before the 16th,
Or after.
so we got two different people. We can give away two different.
All right, we can do that, man. We can do
All right.
that. I might have to take it out of my own budget.
And it's
Don't tell Alicia.
Tom 80. Yep.
Did you write that down? You guys got it wrote down? All right, I'm coming back. What is are you allowed to clone your team roster, your team account roster, your account roster and your team? I'm trying to word that correctly. Are you allowed to clone your roster? Aaron, you're the winner. Strugel, good job. And I can't see a chat box because it took up too
You
much of
don't
my
need to see
screen.
a chat box. We got you.
You got me. I can count on Ben. All right, man, that concludes the coaches part of this. We're going to go to new coaches. If you guys want to stay around, I'm going to take about a 60-second break. I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to stand up for a second. And winners of that, we're going to email you and we'll tell you how you're going to get your cards, but we're going to email you on your cards. And man, I really appreciate you guys stepping up, taking a team. If you need anything, let us know. I'm going to try to get some training out there. If you're 77 coach, read your rules. If you're 9v9, read your rules. If you're moved to U13, 11v11, read your rules, know what they are. And if you need anything, reach out to us. So with that, I'm going to mute my mic. If you have any questions, we'll come back if needed, or Ben will answer them in the chat. So give us about 60 seconds. All right. Like every good coach, I have no clue if that was 60 seconds or not, but it did allow me to stretch my legs. So we're going to pick up right here. We're going to pick up right here and go on with new coaches. Man, hit that chat box. And if you want to talk, unmute your mic and talk. We have no issue here. I'll try to get through it and make up some time, but this is really important. There's a learning curve to being a coach at Broken Arrow. Been doing it 16 plus years. And man, I remember in the beginning, it was, I got to do what, and it was that kind of feeling, but it's just, a season or two and you got it. And just call us, email us, and let us know what you need. Email is great. Don't wait until Friday before your Saturday game to print your game cards and call me and ask me, how do you print cards? Don't mind helping you, man, but you're not giving me much time to respond. So August 14th, 8:30 to 11:30, free, Indian Springs. Garen's going to be out there. Garen's coached since they played with a rock, and you're going to get a lot of information from him. How to manage your team is what I get from him every time. And he's got good stories, really related to what you guys are going to run into. He's spot on. You'll get a lot from it. We'll also run a 7v7 training session, a 4v4. It might not be the complete session, but we are going to run 2 sessions with kids, and we'll have some guest coaches out there. to run them for us. Get a notebook, stay organized. That's huge. Get a notebook, stay organized. Have your medical releases, your contact number, your player passes, for U9 and above. If you're 4v4, you don't have, player passes. If you're U4, you can warm up in the goals. You don't have keepers. The only places we can't use our goals is the leagues that have keepers. Know your age group rules. You can get them off Coach's Corner. If you can't find them, let me know. I'll send you the link. Practice day, time. Don't ask. When you start calling your parents, have it set. Figure out what works for you and your family. Do not try to please everybody, because you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You volunteered your time. You picked the time, and you picked the place, and you picked the day. Find an assistant coach and a team manager. You're going to need help. They'll need to register. Don't let them, yeah, you can be my assistant. We don't really need to register. Rick won't know. I'm going to know. I'm going to know, because I'm going to look at your roster, and I'm going to walk up to your game on a Saturday, and I'm going to see 2 coaches, and I'm going to know there's only one on the roster. So I'm going to know. Ryan Egan's going to know, the games commissioner. The referee's going to ask you guys at the older ages, where is your credentials? You're not supposed to be on the bench. You're supposed to be on the other side. Contact your players once allowed. Don't do it early. Get organized early, and when he drops the hammer, man, give him a call. Have your email list set up, have all that organized, be ready. Know what your practice is going to be. Hit that Mojo app that I was showing you. Have a team meeting. It's sometimes it's awkward, sometimes it's not. Line out your expectations. Set your rules. You're in charge of this team. This team is a reflection of you. And, the play might not be a reflection of you, but the attitude and the sportsmanship is a reflection of the coach more times than not. I can bend a ball, man. 53-year-old fat guy, bend a ball. Some of my players can, some of my players can't, but none of my players are going to cuss on the field, and none of them are going to talk to a referee disrespectful. So that's it. I can teach them that, but I can't teach them to bend a ball. All right. First practice, introduction, phone number, coach's preferred method of contact. We use an app called Team Snap. There's a bunch of free apps out there. There's GroupMe. It's know the witness rule. Explain it to them. Tell them, hey, you got something to do. Don't talk until all the players leave except for the one, and then tell them you got to leave, because you're not leaving. I've had parents that are upset with me because they had to stay, and I'm like, man, you should have left earlier. Concussions, no signs of concussions. You took the course, print off that sheet, and because when you get a kid hit in the head, you're going to be looking at them like, man, do I have this right? And always err on the side of caution. I had a mom come up to me 2 seasons ago. I took the team over, and she's like, I think she can play. And I was like, and the daughter started arguing with her mom, and I immediately made the decision and told them neither of them would make the decision, that I'm making it, and she's not playing. She's not going to play. So she sat out the next 3 games and missed practice. So you're the coach, man. You're responsible for your players' safety. No concussions, no signs of concussions. If in doubt, sit them out. There you go. We coined that phrase, when in doubt, sit them out. We could probably put that on a shirt or something. Goalkeeper training. If you have a keeper, send them out there. If you don't have a keeper, don't send them out there. Don't fill up the youth with kids that aren't keepers yet. Get the numbers off their jerseys and update them in Got Sport. Get the player number. They're talking about jersey numbers there. Update them in Got Sport. So when you print your roster, they're on your roster. U6, you do not have to have numbers on your uniforms. U7 and 8, you'll have numbers on your uniforms. You're responsible for getting them yourself. Uniform fitting and order information, have that ready for that first practice. It's all first practice stuff. Medical releases, it says get them signed, but you actually sign them online now. So you don't really have to get them signed, but you do need to review them and make sure, show them to them. Hey, is this right? Oh no, she's got asthma. Well, that's something I want to know. I want to know that Lucy's got asthma. Season start date, season tournament dates, have all that together for that first practice. Pick and order uniforms. We go to I would go up to Ollie's, go up to Tiger Den, wherever, Max Soccer Shack, wherever you choose to go. You can Google all those and get their address. They're on the slides. We go up there, we have our file, we have our uniform picked out. We have all their names and numbers, jersey numbers, and then they're responsible to go in and get fitted, and they pay whoever we're ordering them from. I don't collect money. That way I don't collect debt. You're gonna end up getting stuck with a uniform if you are the money collector. The cost of a uniform. Update got soccer rosters with jersey numbers as soon as the numbers are determined for uniforms. Some coaches don't even let their players choose their numbers. They choose them for them, but we let our kids choose them. Look over the coach's corner, get to know things, think of different things that you might run into. How do I reschedule a game? How do I cancel a game? How do I set up a scrimmage? There's all these things that you need to be thinking about. Set your blackout dates. With the older kids, we'll ask them, what do you guys got going? Because when they get older, they start doing multiple things. But a lot of times we would just do it for the front end of spring break or the back end of spring break. Same way with fall break. We'd set it and then we'd tell the team, try to schedule your stuff around our blackout dates, please. We gave them our blackout dates as soon as we set them, and then it's worked out pretty good. Don't cancel a game because your best player's gone. Just play the game. It's a lot less of a headache. You might have a player step up and do really good with that dominant player gone that weekend. Have good contact information and have it fast, man. If you see that you're getting rained out, you want to get it out to the parents if they're, getting ready to leave the house or whatever, maybe they're not watching the website. So have a good contact information for parents. And then it's on them, that, you didn't read it. Game was canceled an hour ago. Team account. In your Got Sport account, you can text or email players. You can check your team roster, add jerseys, print your game cards, print your medical releases, print your official roster. Your official roster has the OSA stamp on it. And it's going to be different than a game card, but all that is shown in help documents. You can use the lower right corner of Got Sport and type in, how do you print your official roster? And it will come up. Again, on Coach's Corner, find that link to it. I think that Mojo app, for a new coach, man, that Mojo app is insane. You can YouTube everything. There's material for training on our website on Coach's Corner. It's a work in progress. We're definitely there's some good stuff, and there's a whole season of stuff up there. If you do the 4v4 grassroots training online, you'll have a complete season of training plans you can print off. For I think it's $25 or something online, and the club will reimburse it. But you gotta show us that you took it, produce their certificate, and we'll reimburse your fees. All right, so where do I sit? Home sits on the north or east side, and to remember that, and you always think you thought of everything. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this when a guy named Steve Wachowski was up here, and we live in Northeast Oklahoma, and that's our home. So our home is north or east side of the field. I don't think people appreciate my brilliancy sometimes. If you're away, you sit on south or west. If I go up to the field and Ben's team is sitting on the north side and I'm home, I'm not going to go to the north side of the field and say, hey, I'm home. I'm going to sit on the south side. But if I'm there first, I'm going to sit on the correct side. I'm going to have the flags, 4v4, you don't use flags. 77, 9v9, 11v11 uses flags. So if you're a 4v4 coach, don't disregard everything about flags. You don't have them. Flags at 4v4 are weapons. That's what happens to flags. So remember, we live in Northeast Oklahoma. U9, U10 field diagram is here. This is up on the website. Do not get inside that penalty box to warm up. Your keepers will warm up on the sideline. Don't warm up in the penalty box. It's a big deal when we first switched to it, but now, even when we go away, if we go to Sky Took and Play, I don't even warm up their penalty boxes. we're so used to just doing our thing on the side. You know, you don't have to shoot a ball at a keeper to warm them up when it's just not needed. So you guys see this on U9, U10, you guys sit across from each other. There is no home away side. Your spectators sit from the 50 to the inline, and they sit across the touch line. So you sit on the same end of the field. Tell your parents that, because you're going to get one guy that's got to sit on the other side, and it's going to cause an issue. Tell them to sit on their side, on your side, across from your bench. You'll be the first one there, and you'll sit your bench up if you buy one. If not, you'll have your gear there, and they'll know what side you are. I try to sit off the midline, so there's no question. U11, U19 is the same. Spectators sit across from their team. Please help us with that. Can you discipline a player by reducing player time? Yes, but only if you have presented a written guideline at the beginning of the season, laying out your expectation and possible outcome. So if you are going to discipline, if you're going to have a discipline policy for your team, it needs to be written and signed. I have one paper signed. They sign the back of it. They read the front of it, and I have 17 kids sign the back of it. I don't have 17 pages. You know, I send it out in an email. They can read it in email. They sign a copy of it at practice. Everybody knows what it is. My best player is held to the same standard my weakest player is. If she misses practice excessively, then I'm going to hold her time. And I'm trying to keep this short or get back on time. My players play more than half a game. You know, they probably play more. You know, as you get older, you start rewarding effort, and you know, conditioning is a big thing. But they know when I'm holding their time, so I don't have to go below 50% of the game to hold their time. And I think that makes sense. It does to my ears, but maybe it doesn't yours. But you know, half of my game is 45 minutes. Everybody's going to play at least 55 minutes. They know that they played 45 minutes. So, but if they break the rules enough, they're going to go below 45 minutes, and they know that. It's got to be written on the game card before. When you guys check your team in, you need to let the referee know. That way, if the opposing coach questions it, it was already handled up front. The first step is if you have an issue with a referee, fill out a referee evaluation form online. For serious conflicts, request that the referee not assign them to your game. That happens very seldom, but it does happen. You know, some of these guys think a referee has it out for them. Do they or not? I don't know. I kind of think not. But if you have serious conflicts, you can get with the referee assigner or the area referee, and the area referee will get with the referee assigner, and they won't be on your game anymore. The other team's not following the rule. Everybody's not playing 50%, ignoring the no sweeper keeper rule, et cetera. What can I do? The referee can't enforce these rules. They're not a direct law of the game. Let the staff know ahead of time. We'll try to go out and watch them play. We might call the coach and say, hey, you know, we're hearing this. Can you tell us your side of it? And sometimes that kid was sick or whatever, you know, but if we get 2 or 3 reports on one kid, you know, that kind of out the door. So if you have a problem with some of this sweeper keeper rule, which could be going away, we haven't made the final decision on it, or not playing 50%, let us know. We want these kids. This is rec soccer, man. We work hard. Ben kills himself for his team, and you know, we put on really good training sessions, but at the end of the day, we still follow the rec rules. You know, we might not be rec coaches, but we're working with rec kids, and I say that we're not rec coaches just because we do put a lot of extra effort into our training sessions to make sure we're ready and that our kids are growing. Do I have to reschedule? Yes and no. You do not have to reschedule if the opposing team is playing in a sanctioned. I'm sorry, you do have to reschedule if the opposing team is playing in a sanctioned tournament. If it's a OSA sanctioned tournament, you do have to reschedule. If they're just rescheduling, you don't have to. You know, it's I've given teams players to help them finish out a game. that's not always well received. You kind of got to fill the coach out, but it's, you don't have to reschedule. It's rescheduling's hard. Garen's got a few teams. Ben's got a few teams. There's Matt's got a few teams. Matt Hahn's got a few teams. Jason Dobbins got a few teams. There's a bunch of coaches in this club that have a few teams, and to reschedule for them is like a nightmare. They've set up their whole life around their schedule, and to reschedule is very, very, very difficult. Same, so it's up to you. So some people reschedule because they want you to reschedule with them when they have an issue. So there you go. If you're in the military, when your weeks are coming, man. I'm so respectful and I appreciate you guys and what you do to keep us safe and free. But look out on your schedule. If you need to reschedule because you're going to be gone a weekend for duty, I wouldn't know a coach that probably wouldn't reschedule for that, but you can also have a strong assistant coach that can run your game too. So think about that. It's hard to reschedule. Don't wait. You got 8 days that you have to get it in anyway. Look at your schedule, the stuff is coming. Let's get it rescheduled early. Soccer's a year-round sport. We're going to play in the rain. We're going to play in the cold. We're going to play in the heat. BASC has established a process for evaluating playing conditions. Only BASC field committee may close the complex. Kevin doesn't close the complex. Barbara doesn't close the complex. The president, Joey Hinkle, doesn't close the complex. The field committee closes the complex. So if you want to be on that committee, like I said, there might be room. Kevin Lemaster runs that. I don't know, but he's always looking for people that might live close to complex that can get out there during the day. If it was a bigger committee, maybe you wouldn't have to go out there as much. You guys could share the duties. I feel like I'm rambling. Lightning. If the lightning is in the area, the sirens are going to go off. You must leave the field. Outside the fences, go to your cars. Don't go stand underneath the awning. If you want to go stand in the bathroom, which I think would be weird, you go stand in the bathroom unless there's a tornado coming. It might not be weird. Tell the parents and players to go to the car. Talk about this at your team meeting. We do not want anybody getting hit with lightning. I work for a transmission power company. Man, I have a lot of respect for lightning. I see every year what it can do. We do not want to get hit with lightning. Those fences are out there. Man, if that fence gets hit, I promise everything probably 40 yards from that fence is going to be in step potential. And if you guys want a class on step potential, send me an email. I'll talk to you guys about step potential. But we talk about distance relaying too. So my kids, they're older, so I don't feel right disciplining other people's kids. So our thing is, if you're not in a car, when I tell you to go to a car, our next practice, we're running, man. Oh, you're not supposed to punish kids with exercise. We're running. And it's amazing how fast they'll get to a car. They'll run to their car. And I don't mind if they're all in the same car, gang up, but it's important that we keep these kids safe. And you're going to see parents standing out there. I can't fix stupid. So, I can't make them run either. You can check the field status online. Do we still have text alerts? Hey,
It'll be up.
yeah, we got text alerts. My phone just goes off sometimes. They close every field and it's like ding, 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 like I won the lottery. That'd be slot machines, but don't contact the soccer office. I can't explain to you. Picture yourself at work, getting a phone call every 5 minutes. How much work are you going to get done? These ladies work hard up here. And it's sad sometimes how hard they have to work because we're not respecting their time. So they don't know. They don't know Kevin's going to be out there. His committee is going to be out there. They're going to notify Kevin. There's an email chain that goes around and it's all about 4 o'clock. I mean, me and Ben, Hinkle doesn't know. Nobody knows. You know what I mean? We try to wait, until we have to make the call. Is there any questions yet? And I'm that good. Is anybody there?
Yes.
Okay.
They're here.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a 15-minute meeting with your parents. Real quick. It might be longer, it might be shorter, but sit out your expectations, man. You're giving up so much time. It's insane. You're planning your practices, you're making sure your stuff's around. An hour practice takes 2 hours, at least. You'll find it that it takes time. Every player should always come prepared. This is the most difficult guideline. Hey, if they don't want to wear cleats or they don't have cleats or they can't afford cleats, they can play in tennis shoes. They need something safe to play in. They cannot play in football cleats with that toe cleat. They cannot play in baseball cleats with the toe cleat. Make sure you tell your parents that. It's just sad when the kid can't play. And well, the ref let us play the last 3 games. Well, the ref that let you play the last 3 games was the one that's wrong. The ones that's making you guys stop playing was the one that's right. He's the one that listens to it. It cracks me up what we do to the referees. So, soccer shoes, of course, best. You have to wear shin guards. And you could buy $5 shin guards. You can buy $50 shin guards. There's one in every price range. At younger ages, I had shin guards in my coach's bag. I always had I still have shin guards, but they're probably a little small. But you might throw a pair of shin guards in your coach's backpack, so when they forget them, they can play. The referees are going to tell them to tap their shin guards, and if they don't hear them, they're not playing. And it's for the safety of our kids. The referee's doing his job. I can't tell you how many times I've been called to a field. He's not letting them play. Well, he can't play. He doesn't have shin guards, or he's got baseball cleats on. It's single topic practices. Don't try to fix everything, and that's very hard. If you don't have a written practice, if you don't have a written out practice, it's very hard to stay topical. Make sure you have one topic per practice. Don't cover everything. Graduate from simple to more complex through the training session. End with a scrimmage. Please end with a scrimmage. Kids want to play soccer. We did a thing up here at Bluebell Ice Cream, and best coach in Broken Arrow was there. His name's Rick Heineman. And I was messing around with these girls, and this one girl, she never played soccer before. And she goes, "Why don't we just play?" And I was like, heck of an idea. Why don't we just play? It was a great time, and we scrimmaged with them and had a lot of fun. But kids want to play soccer. Man, they had no idea what learning experience they missed out on. Make it fun. Create games, competitions, or out of drills. You can make them, monotonous, or you can turn it into competition, and they will lift the level of that practice session tremendously, especially boys. Boys are great when you can turn it into, who's the fastest, who's the strongest, who's, just keep it positive. It's if you can turn it into a competition, you got it made. Tons of resources. Broken Arrow's website, soccerexperts.com is a decent one. United Soccer Coaches is, you got to Google that. No, I got it there. It's a great one. It's $120 a year to be a member of it, but you can get a lot of free stuff out there. It's a great resource. It's a great resource. Mojo Youth Sports app, like I said earlier, is a really good one. I think I would like to hear y'all's thoughts on that Mojo, since it's free. Definitely find a coach 2 years older. You'll never play them. They'll pour into you. Go out and watch some games, see who's playing, who's not. Man, volunteer to help a team watch and learn. I had a couple people out to our sessions, and one of them was a bomb. Man, is a bomb, and I don't mean that in a good way. It's terrible. And after practice, I like, well, here's what I did right, here's what I did wrong, and they're like, God, okay. But it wasn't very impressive. And you're going to have those every once in a while. You need a go-to game. You need to go to session that you can just drop everything and go to that thing that is going to get them going. Take a coaching class. Even if you know the game, you'll be surprised how much you learn. Contact me at coach@basoccer.club. I'll get you in touch with somebody. Ben, registrar, he's got a lot. The president, he's got a lot. Joey Hinkle, Matt, all of us, Kevin, we all coach. Man, get with us. We'll try to help you out. We'll try to get somebody to maybe help you run a session. Maybe one of us can come out and run a session, and we're not the end all, and we don't have all the answers, and we run into the same problems you do. We can help you, give you some ideas. FIFA 11, you'll Google it, and it's a good exercise. It's more for the older kids than 4v4, but it is good. It's good. Set up a warm-up activity involving a fundamental skill. I start with 4v4 with young kids, and they just play for a little bit, and that's what grassroots soccer is pushing. And this slide could probably be updated a little bit, but start with something that's going to get them on a ball. They just got out of the car. They just got out of school. They're tired. And, they're just little kids, but get them involved, get them going with a ball on their feet. So you start out, it's the same with more individual and a small group. Use small sided activities that require the use of the skill that is your topic for the night. Be focused. Be sure to focus on corrections and improvements of that skill. Man, kids like to know what they're doing right or wrong, especially the ones that want to improve. And, try to listen to those coaching points on the Mojo app and, read and take that 4v4 grassroots course. And I'm going to close this. Take that grassroots course and kind of understand what they're trying to do with play, practice, play. Allow time for a scrimmage at the end. Use 2 goals. If you don't have enough kids, I use backcourt, and that might be hard to explain to a 4v4, 7 or 8-year-old will get it. Man, 6 is not, you just figure something out. Maybe it's 4 against 1, against you, and you let them have some success, but do let them scrimmage. Have it wrote out. This is an old e-certificate course printout. Have your key coaching points. Today it'd be called, oh my gosh, my brain just locked up. Keywords, and the keywords just kind of grow through the age group, and that way, if they come to my team, they understand the vocabulary that we're using, and it shortens their learning curve. So, how to build. Show up prepared. Know what you're going to do before you arrive. It's so important to have it laid out. Don't lay it out in your head, because somebody's going to talk to you. You're going to be trying to get set up. They're going to break your concentration, your focus. Rethink drills and make them into a game. That is the best way to get kids involved. Make it a game, and take the monotony out of it. For example, rather than just dribbling through the cones, make it a race. And that's pretty simplistic, but there's a lot of ways you can amp up a training session. Don't spend much time lecturing. This is fun what I'm doing right here, right? Don't lecture. Let the game be the teacher. Avoid lines. You're going to have lines, and we avoid lines, but it'd be like 2-to-1, 3-to-1 work ratio. It's not going to be more than that. I'm not gonna have a line of 16. We might end a game with a line, block out or something, very into the game, session. You might play a fun game at the end of your scrimmage, just kind of break it up. And anything that happened bad, they're going to want to stay around, and I could help you out with some fun games to end with. Challenge them. Kids want to be challenged, and we're all going to have the kid. This is rec soccer. We are going to have the kid that is not wanting to be there, and it's just a fact. We all have them, not just you. Sometimes you isolate yourself and think, oh man, got 2 kids don't even care to be here. We all do. Very few teams don't have the kids that don't want to be there. So just try to make it fun for them. Get them to love the game, get them to grow. Game prep. I do the same thing before every game. Pre-game is not a time to coach and learn new activity. So have a pre-game, learn it at practice. You guys just get started. You might go out. We dribbled to, hey, where do you take a corner? We dribbled, all of us had a ball. We dribbled over the corner. Where do you take a goal kick? Where do you go on a goal kick? We just dribble the ball around the field, and it's fun warm up. You might do that the first 2 weeks, and then go to, working on throw-ins. Don't step onto the field when you're throwing the ball in, keep your feet down, stuff like that. 1v1, to the goal. Shooter goes to defense goes to the line. He used the line word, but know your activities. I have them bring both, but home is white, you're light, and away is orange, and that seems backwards, but it's not. Home is the light color, away is the dark color. print your game cards. It says don't print them too early. Print your game cards. Have your player passes ready for U9 and above. That's another slide we need to fix. Sorry about that. U9 and above, have your cards. Run warm-ups before the game. Use the same one every week, man. That way they don't have to learn something. If you want to change something on a warm-up, change it at practice. Say, hey, this is our new warm-up. Have a game ball picked out, man. If you want to make a kid's day, use their ball for the game ball. It's costs nothing. The ABASC registered coach, assistant coach, or manager must be present at the game. You really need to have an assistant coach, because if something happens to you on the way to the game, they're not going to let Larry come over and coach the game because you're not there, because you had a flat tire or any of the hundreds of things that might slow you down and make you late. Have an assistant coach. I have strong assistant coaches. They can run a game. They have a go-to practice. If I can't make it to practice, they have a go-to practice. My daughter, who drives now, would come up with the cones and balls and stuff. And then I don't have to be there. Have a strong assistant coach and have them run foot skills. Just have them have a practice in a can that they can just pull out. If something happens to your day and you have to stay after work or whatever. Oh man. Don't become a remote control coach. Let them play the game. It's awful to be a remote control coach. It's hard to stop once you start. Don't put a person behind the goal to help your team. So I can't put Ben behind my goal that I'm scoring in so my kids know where to go, because when Ben starts hollering at my kids, your kids are going to freak out. What is the guy doing behind their goal screaming? So just don't put a person behind the goal. Well, they don't know which way to go. Well, they're going to learn. They're going to learn really fast. But if you put somebody back there, they're never going to learn. So find help, team manager, assistant coach, or enormous help. This also allows you to focus on the players while someone else handles signatures, returning money, collection, tying shoes, bloody noses, scrapes and bruises, the many things that happen in the course of a season. Use the internet. There's a ton of practice topics with instructions online. Find a mentor, find a mentor, go fishing, find a mentor, ideally a coach 2 age brackets ahead of you, and see what they do. Ask them what they think. It's a great way to learn. All good coaches steal everything they can. Most parents don't know the rules. Help educate them. Send them the link to the rules, in one of your emails. We start our email off at the beginning of the season, and it lasts for the season. I just go back on top of it, and resend out everything that I've sent out again and again and again. Soccer's contact sport. Parents can't go on the field. Please talk about that at your team meeting. If it's really, 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 really bad, all rules are off, right? But even at 4v4, we need to try to keep the parents off. The referee will stop the game and they will ask you to come onto the field. Don't go on the field until they ask you to. They're going to be, they understand where they're reffing. They're going to get you on the field pretty fast. If you have a kid that cries all the time, when you go on the field, the player's supposed to come off. Make sure that they come off, even if they say no, and the rest will say they can stay on. Take them off, and that will help cure I'm going to say crybaby, and that sure does sound bad. Next thing you know, they won't be doing it anymore. Educate your parents. There's a difference between contact and a foul, and the difference is the referee calls it a foul. That might be the difference. Maybe they see it as a foul and the referee doesn't. So he might let the play continue and show advantage with his hands. So there's some stuff there that your parents need to know about. Don't interfere. Don't enter the field. It's the next bullet. Play may not stop immediately for an injured player, except head injuries. And those refs down there, I've never seen them keep a play going. They probably stop it too early. So, which we want. We don't want, kids having issues. So often an experienced referee will check on the player first. That's at the little bit older ages. And for sure at 4v4, if you can tell the referee pretty quick when you get there what they're going to do. Soccer map. If you Google the Indian Springs Sports Complex soccer map, it will come up. There's also, it's on our website. You can link to it. We got the east side and the west side. And our field numbers are 1 through 12 on the loop, and then 13 through 25 on the other side of the east side of the complex. You guys see that there. Then at the bottom, you have the legend of the field sizes, the 4v4, 77, 9v9. So here's something you could send to your parents so they know where your fields are at. Most of your games, I'm going to say, are going to be on the east side. So as soon as I say that, all your games are going to be on the west side. And thank you. Thank you. And we used to have this in person until COVID. We kept it online. We feel like it's easier for your schedule. It's easier for our schedule. We don't have to print a lot of stuff off doing this method. We hope you guys got a lot out of it. Are there any questions, Ben?
You have one from Jan.
Yep.
And it says, are the practice times already set, or do I choose the times?
So on practice times, you're gonna get with your family, and if you're U6, you're gonna practice once a week for an hour. You can do it twice, but you're only gonna get game. And once your game, you're only gonna get a field for one. And once the games start, you practice your night. So to answer that, you'll get with Matt, and there's a link, and you should have an email with the information on it. But you'll pick the night, you'll pick the time. And if you do it at 4 o'clock, there's a lot of people that can't make a 4 o'clock practice, but if that fits best for you, just know that you're going to not have a lot of attendance. So you pick the night and the time and the location. They're spread across town. You can go to Coach's Corner and scroll down to practice, and you'll see a help document on locations of fields and how to get a hold of Matt if you don't know. What else? Good question.
As the girls move to U10, curious about how serious. It says offices will be called. I'm sure that's offsides. They were
Yes,
last
sorry.
year. If I got that wrong. They will definitely take that serious. That is.
So they're going from U8 to U10.
Yes.
They're
Or
playing up.
U9.
Okay, U9. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, Ben. So yeah, we're expected to train them, and it will be called. And man, Google, how do I train offsides?
Teach your parents what offside means.
Yeah, it's definitely, ask your parents not to call offsides. My parents, they call offsides sometimes, and I just bury my head. I mean, sometimes it's obvious that they were onside, and I've got a parent screaming at the referee that the AR doesn't know what he's doing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man, please stop. But, yeah, they're going to miss it, but yeah, it's going to be called. And, at our practice, and I won't go too far at this, at our practice, we set up a line and we just kind of ran through what offsides looked like. And we had the players calling it if we were offsides or not. And we just turned it into a fun time, and they get it. They'll get it. It won't take them long. But you can sit there and scream your head off when they get called offsides. It's it's not going to help them get any faster. And I'm kidding. Don't scream your head off. Just kind of work through it. And it's can be aggravating, but yeah, it's going to be called. It's going to be called, and it's called from the build out line, not the midline. What else we got?
Is it even is on?
We have to fill out a private practice field release if we have already been assigned practice days and field.
No, because that's not a private practice field. I practice on a private field that I mow, and it's another gentleman's property, and we mow our area, and he lets us practice there, and I had to fill out a private practice field form.
U6 shirts, where do we get those? I missed the slide, white and orange, right?
What was the question?
Where do they get the practice field, the U6 shirts?
Is that on? Did I leave the slide up?
No,
The practice fields will be,
no, the U6 t-shirts, where do they pick those up?
yeah, it's going to be August 14th at 12:30 to I think 1:30. And I'll be handing them out at Indian Springs Sports Complex at the tournament headquarters. And it's August 14th, 12:30 to 1:30. Can you guys see my mouse?
Yeah.
Okay, so the tournament headquarters is the building right here. That's the tournament headquarters. I'll be there, and I will pass your shirts out for new players. What else?
Mark Davenport asked a question, even when it's still on, if it's onside still. I'm not for sure.
Hey, Mark, if you want to unmute mine, what's that question? We want to make sure we get it answered.
Oh, I was just wondering that even is still on, and it looks like somebody.
Are you still on,
somebody
Mark?
just said yes. Oh, can you not hear me? I'm
We
sorry.
got you.
Oh, okay. No, I was just wondering on offsides is if the people are even with the defensive line, is that still onsides? Because I know
Yeah,
sometimes.
Mark, the way it is even is still on except for any part that can be played by the ball. So an arm is still it can be in an offside position if it,
Oh.
but a foot is considered offside. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, okay. So if they, yeah, it makes sense. Thanks. That's what it was. I was just making sure it didn't change.
Hey, Nate,
Yeah.
if you could send me some links, I could get out to the coaches and I could look for some too. But the biggest offsides that I see at the younger ages is I'm in an offsides position and I'm clearly offsides. And it doesn't have to be clearly, but I come to an onside position and I receive the ball first. I'm the first player. I come to an onside position. I receive the ball and I get called offsides and
Right.
the coaches go ballistic. There's no way he's offside. He's 4 foot onside. Well, what the coach didn't realize is I started that from an offsides position. I needed one more player to touch the ball before I was played in. And that gets a young coach, man. It gets them a lot. So just understand, you can Google, you can go to YouTube and Google offsides training and you're going to get something. And I'll try to get something as well. I've seen some good,
I'll
good
work on
videos, but I don't have them bookmarked or anything. What else?
Yeah, I've got some from
Did you
referee
have
training.
anything
I'll
else
get it.
on that?
Yeah, I remember from whenever I was playing, I was just making sure it hadn't changed. But thank you.
What else we got? So I've got a $10 question for Los Cabos, $10.
I have one question real
Apologize,
quick.
this turned into a long day for me. I'm still trying to find coaches for teams. If anybody wants to take on another team, send me an email and I get you hooked up. And then you can have good numbers for training. If your U8 team, you're fixing to go play 77. If the registrar builds your two teams, if you're not, doing anything behind the scenes or whatever, you can take those two teams and form your 77 team out of it. So you can already know your kids. What day are we picking up our shirts on the U6 league? That's the question. What day are we picking up our shirts? And what time? What day and time?
Philip, can you pronounce your last name for us, please?
Yes,
All right,
sir.
Philip,
It's Calavet.
Excellent. That sounds good. Thank you, Philip Calavet.
All
Got
right.
yourself a $10 Los Cabos card.
Excellent. I want to thank you guys too for your time.
Hey, it's our pleasure. Thank you guys for attending. What else do you have, Rick? Anything?
last question. When is a handball a penalty? It's a trick question. When is a handball a penalty?
When it's inside the box.
The winner says iPhone. So can we get a name with that iPhone? I apologize. I didn't think of that.
Sorry about that, Rick. Yeah, this is Josh Moydell.
I could keep you guys all night. And
Hey, got a
again,
couple other questions. Rick.
okay, got some questions. Hey, if you're ready to get off, man, I'm not going to break any more news, but these questions might be very, very valuable, but I really appreciate your time.
Says, are the offensive players allowed to shoot at the goal inside the penalty box in U10? He said, I think I saw the players are not allowed.
Yeah, an attacking player can shoot from anywhere on the field. We just don't warm up inside the penalty box. So I'm not sure what we're thinking there, but yeah, you can shoot from anywhere. And you're going to have some strikers that are born strikers that are going to tear that box up, man. And it's going to get aggressive. And that's why we want you to use Adam Kinnis so your keepers are safe and understand how to handle that situation. It's going to be good. If you play the right teams, there's going to be some players that they don't know stop. And it's fun to watch. Sometimes it can be aggravating when you're playing against them, but your players are watching them play and they're learning from that. So yeah, there's no stoppage until the ball is secured by the keeper, which has gotten lenient since I played. Used to, they had to have firm possession of it, but if they have one hand on it or that it's in their possession, the referee's probably going to blow his whistle and talk to the player. Go ahead.
Michael Pewett's asking, because you had mentioned about taking
Yeah.
on another team.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, I can get with you on that. For sure. I can get with you. I think do you remember Ben? Ben builds the teams and then I find the coaches, but I don't have it right here and I'm not using my laptop. And I don't have my printout. I left them on my dinner table. Alicia's really happy with that. But Michael, if you're interested in another team, I'm pretty confident I have one for you. And Ben's still getting kids to register. If you know a kid that wants to play soccer, man, tell them it's not too late to sign up. So I'll get with you. I'll get with you on that. What else we got?
Thanks, guys. See you next week. Excellent.
Yeah. Hey, sign up for that coaches course. One thing I didn't say in the general meeting, and I know people are dropping off, is Dick's supports our club. When we go out to Dick's days and spend money at Broken Arrow, and show our Broken Arrow flyer and they scan it, the Dick's Sporting Good gives the club money. And I think this time they gave us $500 and we bought a lot of stuff. It's in the mail right now. I placed my order and I hope to have it by Saturday. If not, I might have to get back with you guys, but we'll have cones. We'll have a few pennies. And we'll have a few soccer balls. We don't have a lot of pug style goals that fold up, but we'll have some. If you practice at a field that doesn't have small goals, let me know and I'll make sure I put you towards the top of that order and try to get you some of those collapsible goals that you can just throw in your trunk or the back of your truck and you guys can have a good session. What else we got?
3 messages. All right, let's see. You can't make the 14th. Is there another day to do it for new coaches?
If you can't make the 14th, we can work with you. We can try to figure something out, but we won't have another new coach training. But we should have something. Is it 4v4 or?
I think that was a U10.
Who is it? Hey, get with me and let me know exactly, maybe you could do the 4v4 online grassroots training and if you want help run a session, just get with me on email and let me know exactly what you want to maybe be helped with.
Yeah. And then I got a question, as new coaches, do we have to, or can we go tomorrow to Indian Springs, I guess, for the field day? So we
Yeah.
encourage it.
Yeah, we need so much help out there. And I'm not a crybaby, and I give at least 25% every day. And no, I'm kidding. We'd love to have you guys out there. There's a lot of work for Kevin to get done out there. And Kevin, we all think we spend a lot of time, and we all do volunteer a lot of time. Ben's probably got 100 hours into building teams. I'll have, quite a few hours into finding coaches. Kevin could definitely use help, and we would love to get you guys more involved into the club. It is a club, we're all members of a club, and we're here to serve you, but we would love to get more people involved in everything we do. And even at the board level, if you're interested in running for a position, don't wait. If you have time in your schedule. I waited until my kids were older. We had 4 kids, and they're all older now before I jumped in, but we'd love to have some fresh ideas and some fresh.
Make a difference in the lives of kids.
Yeah, for sure. Make a difference in the life of kids. What else?
Hey, Rick, on
I haven't answered that question.
Hey, Rick, on that training.
I apologize. I
We
apologize.
hope to see you tomorrow. We'll be there. It'll be a lot of fun. Wear sunscreen in case it's bright out.
Yeah. And don't think you have to stay the whole time. We'd love for you to, but if you want to, it's officially starts at 8, but if you want to show up at 7, Kevin's going to get there about 6:30. He's already got his list. He's very, very, very organized. That's what I love about Kevin. You get out there and he's so organized and knows exactly what he wants to get done tomorrow. So it's not going to be a waste of your time. You're not going to go out there and stand there for 40 minutes. You're going to go out there and work, and he can get you right to work. Well,
I have
You good?
something. Can
You
you hear
guys-
me?
Here's somebody talking. All right, go
It's
ahead.
me. This is Catherine Bridgman, and I have a question. I had completed my heads up and my safe sport in July, I believe, and it's showing expired on my account. Would I have to do all of that again?
Oh, great.
I mean,
Great question. So what may have actually
we can't hear anything that's being said.
All right, let me mute yours.
Give me
All
just a
right,
second.
all right.
All right, so I'm going to take the question that Ben was trying to answer.
Hey, we couldn't hear because I was talking over here. I got it.
I'm gonna mute. Ben's got it.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Excellent. So if, by chance, if you completed that in June, the seasonal year ended the end of June, and it would require a new completion after July 1st. So I took a refresher the end of June thinking, hey, I'm doing good. I'm well ahead of the curve. I go in and log in a few weeks ago and saw that my stuff was expired. So I had to go in and take a refresher course for the Safe Sport. It's a short course. You'll be done in 10 minutes or so. You also have to refresh the concussion course and also the background check. Is that correct? Just once a year for the background check. Okay. So you'll see your requirements. If it shows that they are not complete, you will have to do that. And I apologize. It's nothing on our side. It's US Soccer and how they use their seasonal year.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. And thank you for volunteering. We appreciate it. Looking forward to having you in the
Yes, no
club.
problem.
And make sure you print off your proof that you've taken it. It's you PDF it, and then if you have any issues, we can send it to OSA and they can kind of backdoor it. But yeah, Barbara's saying screenshot it, whatever method you need to do, just have proof, and we'll, they can help us get it passed in the Safe Sport. If you'll go back into your coach's account and upload that certificate, it's going to do itself usually after you take that refresher course. I had to log directly into Safe Sport. I couldn't access it through my coach's account. It kept making me take the complete course. It didn't offer the abbreviated course. So, just Google Safe Sport and you're going to go to safesport.org or something. It's a government website. Might be .gov but you'll see it. And there probably is help on the right-hand bottom of Got Sport. If you click on it, it probably help, but save your stuff. So, there's no test at the end of the concussion course. A lot of people say, man, I've taken this 4 times and there's no test. Well, there's not a test. It talks about you'll take a test in the course, but there's no test. And I try to get that out there, but I must not do a good job. So just print, you've completed your heads up concussion training, print that screen and we'll get it to OSA and get you taken care of.
So they have one that's kind of like a fast track then.
I put that in the chat box. You find it by going to our website, clicking the Safe Sport. It's in the slides, but
Yeah, know that Safe Sport code like Ben's saying, and I'm just saying it again in case you didn't hear him. Know your Safe Sport code so you can paste it in, and that's what I do. I just copy and paste it in there. I don't try to type the big number in, but it's on the website under Safe Sport. Copy it and paste it in there, and then when you're done, make sure you hit the upload and upload your screenshot or your PDF. I PDF it on Safe Sport and upload it back into it, and your requirement will go to review, I think is what Safe Sport's going to do. And then it might take a day or so to go to complete it. If it doesn't go after a day or so, send me your certificate and we'll try to help you get it done. But give it 24 hours before you send it to me if you don't mind. And you can't be signed to your team until you have that completed. And it's just the way the database is set up. There's no way to do it. Not that we would do it anyway, but it's impossible. It can't be done. What else? Some coaches bring water.
We have got a couple of people saying they won't be able to be there for the training course. If they're not there, they can email you.
Mhm.
We can either invite them out to one of our sessions over the next week or two.
Yeah, just let me know your concerns and we appreciate you volunteering your time. We say it's mandatory, and we do want you there. It is strong. We push education and COVID came and we kind of pulled back off of it for the obvious reasons. And we're going to ramp that back up and pour into these kids. You might not be the best soccer coach and you can still put on a productive training session for a 4v4 team and they're going to grow. They're going to grow. If you pour into it, they're going to grow. You don't have to be a great soccer coach for those young kids. And I don't know how many people I talked to. I was like, oh man, I wish I had them, helping me coach my team. You've got a lot of good coaches in this group they're on this chat. Talk to them at the games, man. You don't have to be enemies, man. We're a club. We all play for the same club and you're going to be on the same team one of these days. You're going to grow up 44, 77, 99, 11, 11. Talk to them and ask them, hey, what kind of drills do you run? It's work together, man. Don't work against each other. And do reach out to us and let us know if you missed the training and want to know something specific, let us know. Be prepared. What else, Ben?
I think that's it. I think everybody went to sleep.
Yeah. And I can't explain to you guys how much we appreciate you. You make our job easy as volunteers.
Yep. Don't hesitate to call.
Okay. We're gonna end it with that. And again, coach at basoccer.club, registrar at basoccer. Registration at basoccer.club. Reach out to any of us and we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you quick.
If you don't know where to go, info@basoccer.com.
Yeah. Yep. info@basoccer.com. Our club. I'm getting tired. info@basoccer.club. All right. Thank you guys.
Have a great evening.
So I did stop share. Now, how do I stop my recording?
Hit leave.
There you go. Stop recording. I'm a good looking guy. I see myself now. Golly.